Hello class, let us try to go through the questions from June 2008. Alright, here comes the first one. Now we are looking for linear function. Linear function here means a line, straight line. In fact, so our answer would be this one. This one would be for absolute variety function. And here we have examples of parabola. So linear function would be number 1. Alright, let us move on. Here we have, let me try to make the, okay, 8 equal sections. So now we have 2 white, and then black is 1, green is 2 green, and yellow is 3. So which event is most likely occur in one spin? Green or white? Green or white, in this case we're looking at white is 1, 2, green is also 1, 2. So we have 4 possibilities. Now, green or black was 3 possibilities, 1, 2, and then 3. Yellow or black? Yellow would have been 1, 2, 3, and then black would be 1 more. So therefore 4 possibilities. Yellow or green? In fact, we have 5 possibilities of that happening. So therefore, our answer will be number 4. Alright, now here, a school wants to add a coed soccer program. Now, so the question here is unbiased sample, meaning fair sample. For example, if we survey regarding this program, for example, to the football team, and you'll, whether it be for soccer or against soccer, since these are another athletic program, so they may be somewhat biased. How about drama class? This is a very specific class, so therefore it might be also biased. But if you have to go for every third students entering the building, this will be the least biased because their chances are that it can be randomly chosen. So therefore our answer would be number 1. Here, let us try to look into this one. This one is difference of perfect squares. If I were to rewrite this one, we will have 4x whole thing squared minus 5y squared. Now, since this will be the difference of squares, what's going to be happening is this. We will have 4x plus 5y sum, and then the difference, 4x minus 5y. So that tells us that our answer must be choice number 1. Alright, here we have correlation, talking about the relationship between 2 sets of data, but it has to be negative. It simply means we gotta have negative slope. So therefore, which one has negative slope in their relationship? This one will be somewhat horizontal or very slight positive. This is definitely positive, but we can see that this will be definitely negative, and that's how they're related. So therefore, our answer will be choice number 4. All right. Jack bought 3 slices of cheese pizza, so we can consider that as 3C, and 4 slices of mushroom pizza plus 4M, and then that costed $12.50. So I'm just going to write down everything in cents. So therefore, 1,250. Grace bought three cheese slices, and then 2 mushroom. Ended up being $8.50. We're looking for mushroom pizza. Now, what we can do is this. As you can see, 3C, that's common. So if you have to simply subtract second equation from the first equation, 3C's will cancel out, and then 4M minus 2M becomes 2M. And then we have 1250 minus 850 becomes 400. So when you divide by 2, we will realize that mushroom n must be equal to 200. In other words, $2. There it goes. Product. That means we have to distribute 3x squared y to both of them right here. Then negative 3 times 5 becomes negative 15. And x squared and then x squared. Since there's a 1 hidden right over here, we will have x to the third, y, and the 1 is hidden, times y squared becomes y to the third. Next, negative 3. And then there's no number in the front, then we're assuming the positive 1 is hidden. So therefore we have minus 3, x 2, and then 1, so total 3. Y times y becomes y squared. So this becomes our final answer. And it seems like that is same as choice number 1. Alright, number 8. Bowling team has to choose president, first, second, third person. Now it has 10 members. How are we going to choose 3 members out of 10 members in that particular order? Then it's going to be P. Permutation represents the arrangement. Since we're trying to pick 3 people out of 10, our answer will be 10 P 3 right here. Now, what is the volume of the cube? Then what we have to do is this. Volume of a cube essentially have to multiply, since this one is 1.5 on each side, the volume would simply be 1.5 to the third power. Now, then if you have to do that, we will have 1.5 raised by third power. Oops. Sorry, we have to 1.5 to the third power right here, and that becomes our answer. Right over here. Now let us look at number 10. Which order pair is a solution for these two? What we can do is we can put that into calculator to calculate quicker. Here we have y equals x. That can be the first one. Second one can be x squared minus 2. Now, if I have to put a zoom standard number 6 right here, then it will give me a nice picture. Oh, as I can see, I can have 2 points of intersection here. The way that I can find these two is I can go for second, trace, intersect right here. Number 5. Since that's the first curve, and that is the second curve, and before I guess, I just have to go near the point. Then it will get me the value. So one answer is -1, -1. Now, none of them satisfies this. So, okay, let's go for the second value then. Second, calc, intersection, number 5. First curve, yes. Second curve. Just right before I guess, I just have to move closer to the intersection of my choice. Right around here. 2, 2 was my second answer. So -1, -1 I didn't have, but 2, 2 I had, so therefore my answer becomes choice number 4 because of this. Now, here we realize that line of symmetry driven about this vertex. And then the vertex will be right over here, the turning point essentially. So the vertex is -2, -3. Okay, that makes sense. So that means we are looking at any one of these two. The vertical line, equation of the vertical line is x equals -2, not y. So therefore, our final answer will be choice number 1. Now, red and black marbles, Pam is playing with those two. Now, number of red marbles, she has is 3 more than twice the number of black. So let us call the red and then black. Let's call black as x, then red will be 3 more than, so I'm going to have plus 3, twice the number of black, so we have 2x. And she has 42 marbles in all. That means when you add them up, we have 2x plus 3 plus x. When you add up both of them, that's equal to 42. And when you combine them, we have 3x plus 3 equals 42. By subtracting 3, we have 3x equals 39, and x equals 13. There it goes. Now, half of that simply means 2 to the 6. Divide by 2. Half means dividing by 2. So when you do that, then we have 2 to the 6. Divide by 2 to the 1, that means 2 to the 6 minus 1. When you divide it, you subtract between the exponents, which you end up getting 2 to the 5th power. Parallel, that means we gotta have the same slope as 2 negative 4. So we realize that only one that has the same slope as the other one, which is the choice number 1. Product, we need product, and then in simplest form, if this basically implies that we need to factor, then cancel. Right? So let's try to look into that. X squared minus 1 can be factored into x plus 1 and x minus 1. And denominator, we cannot do anything about it, so we're going to have x plus 1 and x plus 3. About the denominator, 3 was common, so we have 3, x minus 1. Then we realize, oops, not this one, sorry. X plus 1 and x plus 1 cancels out. X minus 1 and x minus 1 cancels out. Then what's left here is x plus 3 over 3. That becomes our answer. Choice number 4. Now here we have, we're looking for the angle A. Whenever we are looking at angle with the right triangle, that's when we have to use sine, cosine, or tangent. Now if you remember, which ratio from here, from this angle, this one will be the opposite. And since this is opposite from the right angle, here you can see that's the hypotenuse. Then which ratio represents between the opposite side and then hypotenuse? In fact, it will be the sine. So in fact, sine of A must be equal to 8 over 12. How are we going to find out A? Then A can be found by arc sine, or second sine, of 8 divided by 12. Good. When you try to do this one with your calculator, make sure that your mode is in degrees. Go there, and then you can come to the screen by checking out the mode. Now I changed to the degrees. Second sine and 8 divided by 12. We'll end up getting about 41, 42 will be our answer. So therefore, our answer will be 42. Alright, making the expression undefined simply that means we cannot have the denominator equal to 0. For what value of x will the denominator be equal to 0? In fact, setting x minus x minus 3 equals to 0, we can simply add 3 on both sides. We will realize that when x equals 3, the denominator becomes 0, which makes the expression undefined. So therefore, the answer will be 3. Consider the set of integers greater than negative 2. So we are looking at negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to, but less than 6. So we're going to go up to 5. Subset of this set is a positive factor of 5. Positive factor of 5, that means 1 and 5. What is the complement of this subset? Complement means simply besides these two, what is the leftover? That's basically what they're saying. Then here we are looking at everything besides 1 and besides 5. Then we have these 5 values, negative 1, 0, 2, 3, 4. Okay, which is choice number 2. Now, qualitative simply talks about quality, uh, data that describes some sort of quality. Now, elevation of the 5 highest mountains. Elevation is numerical value. It's more like a quantitative then. Age, similar. Now, but in case of opinion, talks about how good the lunch is or not, or depending upon how your opinion is like. That would be simply qualitative, because we're talking about quality of lunch or lunches. The slope formula here becomes, if you remember, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 here is negative 4 minus 1, as you can see, and 4 minus negative 6. Here we have negative 5 on top. Negative negative becomes positive. We will have 10, which simplifies into negative 1/2. So therefore, our answer will be choice number 3. Now, the height of the student's shortest was 155 all the way up to 190. So we're looking at 155 to 190. That means we are looking at one of these two. But since the shortest one was 155, we need to include that. So it's 190, which makes choice 2 becomes our answer. Now here, we are looking at cumulative frequency table. That means here 20 to 29 was 8. Then 20 to 39, when you count up to 39, then we would have 18. That means in this case, you will realize that in our case, the question is 40s. That means 40s can be counted between these two. Because up to 39 was 18, then what does that mean by this one? 22, 49 basically means 22, 39, and 42, 49. When you have both of these combined together, that's equal to this. Now, in 20 to 49, essentially we have 25 in total, when in fact 20 to 39 was only 18. And how many should we have from 40 to 49? That makes 14 to be 25. Then we have to simply subtract between these two. We will end up getting 7. So therefore our answer will be 7. Now, Mr. Turner bought X boxes of pencils. Now, here each box holds 25, but he left 3 boxes of pencils at home. Now, 3 boxes, that means we're looking at total 75 pencils, isn't it? 3 times 25. Now the question is, which expression represents the total number of pencils he took to the school? Since he has X boxes with 25 pencils each, then we would have had 25X. That would have been entire number of pencils, but he forgot to bring 3, so minus 75. And makes choice number 4 to be our answer. So let us try to simplify this one. We have, since 2x is common, then we will have x left minus 6 divided by x minus 6. We realize that these two are common, so we cancel them out. We have 2x left. Here, in order for we to find the value of x, our expression would have been, by Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Remember, c is always the hypotenuse. So we have x squared plus 19.5 squared is equal to 20 squared. But in order for you to find the x, what you would have done is subtracting this value. So we have x squared is equal to 20 squared minus 19.5 squared. But to find x, what you would have done is taking the square root of 20 squared minus 19.5 squared. That's what you would have done. That means we are looking at choice number 3. Now, let us try to look into this one. Which value of x is the solution of this? We can cross multiply them. Then we will end up getting, make sure this x has to multiply not only to x here, but also 13. That means we will have x squared plus 13, x equals 30. By subtracting 30, we will have x squared plus 13x minus 30 equals to 0. Now we know how to factor this one. This becomes x plus 15 and x minus 2 equals to 0. And when you set up the chart, we will realize that x must be equal to negative 15 or x must be equal to 2. So, okay, we have negative 15 as our answer. Alright, the box toy measures 3 feet 15, okay, 2. Total surface area. Now, so if we have something like this, we can say this can be 3, this can be 1.5, and then this can be 2. How do you find the surface area? Surface area is the 2 times top and bottom, and left and right, front and back, basically. Top and bottom can be measured in 3 times 1.5 plus 2 times of left side and also the right side. It becomes 2 times 1.5 plus 2 times front and back. That means 3 times 2. So here we have this becomes 9, and this becomes 6, and that becomes 12, which total becomes 27. Okay, comes our answer. Alright, when you simplify this one, when you look at a square root of 32, essentially square root of 32 is equal to, looking for the perfect square, we'll have square root of 16 times square root of 2. But this portion becomes 4. So if I have to rewrite this one, this becomes 4 square root of 2 over 4. And 4 and 4 cancels out. We have square root of 2 left. Here we have, if a is multiplied by 3, you see in parabola, higher the value of A is narrower the graph will be. Let me show you for example. So for example, let us say I'm just going to make something up here. There's a 2x and plus 1. And that example, that can be in format of ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, what I'm going to do is this. On the other hand, the top one I'm going to put exactly same, except the coefficient, I'm just going to make it into 3. Make it higher. Multiply by 3. So x squared minus 2x plus 1. And then, just to show you the better picture, I'm going to go to the left side. And I'm going to change the graph a little bit thicker. And let's try to see what happens. Thicker one is multiplied by 3. And thinner one should be the other way around. When you, as you guys can see, thicker one is the narrower than the thinner one. Right? So therefore, our answer will be narrower than original parabola. Alright. Loses value, depreciate. That means loses value 14% per year. That means how many percent do you still actually retain? Then it will be 100% minus 14%, which is 86. So 86% will be still remaining. So therefore, initial cost was 21,000, and after 3 years, that means we have 0.86 times 21,000. But since this will take on effect for 3 years, 0.86 will be multiplied 3 times. So therefore, this will be our final answer, which is choice number 2. Alright, let's try to look into this one. Tom drove 290 miles from his college to home, and then uses this much gas of gasoline. And then the other person was 225 for 15 gallons of gasoline. Whose vehicle had a better gas mileage? Meaning, gone further, gone more per gallon. So therefore, let's try to look into that. In case of Tom, we have 290 miles over this much. In case of Anne, becomes 225 for 15 gallons. So we know that this one will be equal to 15 miles per gallon. So, gallon. Here we have $290 divided by 23 point, I believe, 2. 12.5, okay. So we have 12.5 miles per gallon. So obviously we can have Anne has better gas mileage. Here, in terms of pi, find the exact area. Now, one interesting thing about this one is this. We have, in order for you to find the shaded area, all we have to do is this. We need to subtract from a square this 4-quarter circle. Four of them. But what does that mean? Let's try to look into that for a second. Here, 1-quarter circle. Another quarter circle. Another quarter circle. Another quarter circle. Let me try to do this one in different color. another quarter circle. What's actually happening is, if you put all those 4 quarter circles together, you'll realize that it becomes one full circle. Essentially, what's happening is this. Um, Basically, we just have to subtract one circle from the square. Then let's try looking at that together. Since each side is equal to 6, so the square becomes 36. Excuse me. Minus, since the radius is equal to 3, the area of the circle becomes pi r squared, which is pi 3 squared. That makes 9 pi. Now, so therefore, our final answer comes this one. Now, in this case, we are looking for the intersection of these three things. Intersection here, in this case, means what's common in all three. So then when you look into that, we will have smallest one will come right here, goes all the way up to there, and then our upper limit will be, okay, highest one goes up to here. Therefore, it will be between 0 and 40. So therefore, our final answer becomes t has to go from 0 all the way up to 40. That becomes our answer, which is common for all three of them. Alright. Here we have Peter began his kindergarten year, spell 10 words, and 2 new words every day. Okay. Starting from 10. Write an inequality that he can use to determine how many days D. And to spell at least 75 words. At least 75 words, that means we are looking for 75 or more. So we will have 10, because he already had 10, plus 2 times D. That becomes our answer. Now, they are looking for the minimum, so then what we have to do is, we need to subtract 10 from each side, and we will have 2D. That will be greater than or equal to 65. So to find that D by itself, we have to divide it by 2. We will have D is greater than or equal to 32.5. That means D has to be 33 days. Minimum, because it has to be greater than 32.5. Here, CD normally sells for $18, okay. And then during the first week of sales, OCD sells for 15. So that's a little bit of reduction. Written in fraction, what is the rate of the discount? The rate of the discount here becomes simply discount was in fact $3. So $3 out of original, which is 18, essentially 1 out of 6. This is 1/6 has been discounted in this case. Now, what is the rate expressed as a percent? Then to express that as percent, we just have to simply multiply that by 100. So let's try looking into that. We're going to multiply this by 100. And that becomes 16.6666 continues. The nearest hundredth, that means we're looking at 16.67%. Alright, now let's look into the third part of this one. So during the second week, this time CD, the same CD will be on sale for 25% off the original price. What is the price of the CD during the second week? So 25% is off. That means how much do we still pay? We still pay 75%. Essentially, we are looking for 75% of the $18. So 75% means 0.75 multiplied up by 18. That's how much we pay. And 0.75 times 18. That's equal to 13. 13.5. So we'll be paying $13.50. Now, here we have, they want us to graph it. Then one easy way that you can do is put this one into the calculator and then get the values that we need. So I'm going to have x squared minus 2x minus 3. And then I'm going to just graph it to show you how the graph should look like. And I'm going for the table right here. And it will get us the values. So why don't I use these values to sketch it. So we have negative 2 comma 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then negative 1 comma 0. 0 comma negative 3. 1 comma negative 4. And go back up to negative 3 and then coming all the way up to 0. And then 4, 5. So our parabola would have looked something like this. So I try to sketch it. Goes up that way. Let's say this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, and negative 1 is negative 3, and so forth and so on. Now, and how do you find the roots? Roots are basically x-intercept. So therefore, we see our roots right over here when x equals 3, and then when x equals negative 1. You can see from the table right over here too. So therefore, our answers are x equals negative 1, and then negative 3, or positive 3. Alright, so we have next question. Contractor needs 54 square feet of brick. Now, the length of the walkway is 15 feet more than its width. Then, in a rectangle. So we're going to say that this one is x plus 15, while this one is x. Now, write an equation that can be used to determine the dimension. So 14 has to be 54, so then area becomes x plus 15 times x must be equal to 54. So let us look into that. We will have x times x becomes x squared plus 15x must be equal to 54. Now, solve this equation, find the length of the width. Alright, now, length and width. So when we subtract 54, we will have x squared plus 15x minus 54 equals to 0. Then we have to look for two numbers that will multiply to 54, but add up to 15. In fact, those two numbers would have been x plus 18, and then x minus 3. Once again, then we get to realize that x must be equal to negative 18, or x equals 3. So, but x cannot be equal to negative 18 because dimension cannot be negative, then x equals 3, which leads us to have this one is equal to 3. 3 plus 15 becomes 18. So those are our answers. Now, Sophie measured a piece of paper to be 21.7, and then that's how she measured. But actually, the real dimensions were like these. Determine the number of square. Uh, Sophie's measurement would have been area by Sophie would have been 21.7 times 28.5. So let's try to do that. 21.7. Oops, we gotta put here. Times 28.5. So that becomes our calculation. 618.45. That's what we have over here. Now, and then determine the number of square centimeters in the actual area. That means we have to calculate that. I'm just going to do it blue. Actual becomes 21.6 times 28.4. So here we have 21.6 times 28.4. That's the actual value. And we have 613.44. Now, determine the relative error. Relative error basically means we need to find the difference and then divide by the actual thing. So difference becomes here, we have 618.45 minus 613, oops, 613.44. That would be 5.01. We have to divide that by original, which is 613.44. Then our answer becomes this way. $618.45 minus 613.44 divided by 0.44 came out to 0.008167-ish. Now, put it to the nearest thousandth. That means we're looking right here. So that'll be 0.008. That becomes our answer. Now, Sophie does not think that there is significant amount of error. Do you agree or disagree? Since this is less than 1%, so in fact, since it's less than 1%, I don't think there is that much of error. So I would have agreed with Sophie. All right, great. Let's look into the next question. So here we have the race cars and this one. So we want to find out the mean and median. We can find these two using the calculator. So let's try to put that in. We have go to step first, edit. I'm going to go way on top and then clear that. So we have the 140 and 4 and 819. All right. 1, 2, 1, 2, since even though we have two columns, as you can see here, we're not actually using the two variable step, but it will be one variable step. So we'll be looking at stat calc one variable stat. In this case, we actually have to type in L1 and L2. So second number 1, comma, second number 2. So here it goes. We have our average is 315. Now, our median will be 180,000. So therefore, mean, and this is the median. Which one of these two best represents the central tendency? Now, it represents the value of these 7 cars. Now, it seems that median in this case may represent it better because we have more numbers that are closer to this one than average. Because the reason why median is better is in this case, we have one car that costs like many times for more than 4, even 5 times greater than these other cars. Because of this one car, the price has gone up by far. So therefore, the average, more than the average, the median would have represented better, because more cars would be closer to the 180,000 than 315. So therefore, this will be our answer. All right. Now with that, I guess we'll finish up. Have a great day.